Today on Wolfpack Weekdays, we're going to be counting down the top 5 selling video games of all time. Welcome back to Wolfpack Weekdays. Like I said, today we're going to be doing the top 5 selling video games of all time, and this is all information from businessinsider.com, which use actual, basically, numbers that are confirmed for the video games and what they sold, so it's a legit source. Now, with that being said, let's get into number 5.
Number 5.
Coming in at number 5 is a little-known game on the PC called Crossfire. This game came out in 2007 and it grossed $6.8 billion in sales. And what this game is it's basically a tactical shooter like the old school SOCOM games on PS2. It's a very tactic-heavy shooter where you have to actually plan out what you're doing or else you can fail the mission quite easily. And it had nearly 50 million active players from around the world at the time of its peak.
Number 4.
Number 4 on our list is a widely cherished game that is still played to this day very actively. You know it, you love it, it's World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is a game that came to the PC in 2004 and has had almost a gross of $8.5 billion. This classic and still massively played MMO, it actually has a full-length movie in theaters right now. It is one of the greatest games of all time, and that is not just my opinion, that is a worldwide consideration. So, World of Warcraft, number 4. Now let's move on to number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3 is Street Fighter 2. Originally an arcade game that came to the consoles and was developed originally in 1991, Street Fighter 2 comes in with a massive $10.6 billion in sales. Street Fighter 2 is the Capcom classic fighting game that is still, to this day, putting out copies. Street Fighter 5 came out this year and was a huge hit. And nowadays, there's characters from this game being put into other franchises. Obviously, there's Capcom versus Marvel and everything, but Ryu was added to Super Smash Bros. Wii U. So it's a Nintendo property. And he is awesome in that game, by the way. Now, let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
Coming in at number 2 is the classic arcade game most people know very, very well, as it was probably a part of your childhood if you're anywhere near my age. It's PacMan! Developed in 1980 and having nearly $12.8 billion in copies sold, PacMan is massive. PacMan is a game that everybody knows. It's seriously a very simple game, but he has branched out into so many different consoles over the years. Basically, PacMan was an arcade game that branched out into consoles and is still available on modern consoles to this day. You can go on to Xbox Live and buy a copy of PacMan. That's insane. The fact that he has that much staying power is why that is sold $12.8 billion worth of things. And PacMan as a character has now been added to other games such as Smash Bros. So 2 of these in a row have a character in Smash Bros. Wii U. PacMan, I hate PacMan in Smash Bros, but he is a fun character to play, and he definitely deserves to be in the game because he is a massive retro classic. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the number 1 selling game of all time.
Number 1.
Coming in at number 1 is another arcade classic known as Space Invaders. Space Invaders, one of the very first games to ever gain popularity ever, has sold over $13.9 billion in copies. And this game is as simple as you can get. It's a horizontal line shooter with blocks and aliens trying to get down to a certain point on the screen. Basically, you go back and forth and shoot, and you try to kill the mothership, and basically you just try to get the highest score you can because it's a never-ending game. It is actually quite addictive, quite fun. If you have any access to retro games, you should definitely play it. It's actually a lot of fun. And that's number 1 on the list. So that, guys, is the top 5 selling video games of all time. Let me know what you guys think about, Space Invaders and PacMan being on the top of the list. Old school arcade games are still on the top of the list. Let me know what you guys think about that using the hashtag WPW. And that's all I have for you guys today. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more, and if you have any suggestions for the show, use the hashtag WPW down in the comments or on Twitter, and your idea might just get featured on the show. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.